guys, it's Jen here at Check Her Joy. This time I'm doing another Top 5 Wednesday, which were created by Lainey at Ginger Reads Lainey, and I'll put the link to both her channel and the Goodreads group down below in the description if you want to check them out. This week's topic is our biggest book hangovers, which is kind of an odd one for me. So a book hangover is when you get into a book and when it ends, you are just kind of like still in that world, or you're completely traumatized by it. It could be good or bad, and you just can't continue reading and get into the next book or do anything else with your life. And I never have problems reading more books usually. So that's kind of an odd one for me. So these are the books that kind of I just crawl into that world and they stick with me the most. And I am always talking about the same books over and over and over again, I'm noticing. So I'm trying to diversify it, but at the same time I can't ignore these books that I love so much. So really quickly, I am totally obsessed with the Mortal Instruments series and the Infernal Devices series by Cassandra Clare. I am in the middle of reading the Mortal Instruments series, so that's adding to this, but this world is so vivid and I love these characters. They are smart and witty and snarky, sassy, it can kick ass, and the plots are really fantastic. So I love the characters. Especially love like Will and Jem, and I love Jace and Simon. I love these guys in this book. I will always have Harry Potter on any list possible, especially when these books were first coming out and you'd like finish one and then you'd have to wait. Don't even know how long it was going to be until the next book came out, and just like what's going to happen and what's going to happen to Harry and Voldemort and this whole world. This is just, I really love this world. It is so vivid and amazing. So I could not ignore Harry Potter. And I have the Lunar Chronicles by Marissa Meyer. Always talking about them. I love this fairy tale sci-fi mix and the whole plot and everything. The characters. I love the twists on these fairy tales too. Like they're based off the original ones and can have some very dark parts to them, but they're still funny. And space. I love space, guys. And I have the Enchanted Ink series by Shanna Swendson and this fellow Katie Chandler who works for a magic company, but she is completely and totally not magical, and that makes her incredibly valuable. And I love this unique take on this kind of fantasy genre. It mostly reads like chick lit, so I love this blending of my two favorite genres, really. Also in here, I have the Princess Diaries book by Meg Cabot. We have Mia Thermopolis, who finds out she's the princess, and she is going to have to learn how to take over for her dad, and I love her reluctance. And also, this was during the 90s, like, she's about my age, maybe a little bit older, and, like, relating to all these pop culture references. Like, she's totally obsessed with Queen Amidala from the Star Wars prequel, so I love this series. And especially when I was still in high school, just completely obsessing about these books. Next, I have Seraphina by Rachel Hartman, and I love this world. I love the fact that the dragons can become humanoid and just hide as humans, but they still think differently and are very analytical and mathematical. And they're like, the way that music is used within this book is so awesome. I love Seraphina as a character. And I really love the way the dragons are imagined in this world. Next up, I have The Heartbreakers by Ali Novak, which is a book that I read last summer and just completely was not expecting this at all. Like, I love this world. The main characters, so this book focuses on a set of triplets, and one of them has cancer and is totally obsessed with this one band called The Heartbreakers. So her two siblings, who don't really like this band, go to get autographs from them and end up accidentally meeting the band without realizing it's the band and just hang out with them and this reluctant friendship. And I especially love this reluctant romance between Stella and Oliver. It is really funny and romantic and deals with some kind of deep things, but in a very light manner. I really adore this book, guys. Also, books that I don't own were Carry On by Rainbow Rowell. I totally loved Simon and Baz so much. Their relationship, they're arguing and all of that. And also the whole magical world that exists. I love the Watford. I love the fact that the magic is so tied into words and the power that words have, which is a really cool take on that. And then I also have The High Rise by J. Ballard, which is a kind of present day dystopian book. It takes place within the confines of this one high rise in England, and the characters just slowly start to not care about the outside world. And they break down to these very animalistic instincts. And this book was kind of horrifying, which is why I couldn't get it out of my mind. But at the same time, I still really want to see the movie that's coming out based off of this. So it wasn't that terrifying, but it just, like, cannot forget this book, even though it's been months. I don't know, I have this, like, strange relationship to this book. Like, it's really good, but I definitely do not want to live in this world. And it terrifies me that this is something that could actually happen. Like, it's a little too realistic for me. And then I have a couple of books that I was really into when I was younger, and one of them is Christy by Catherine Marshall. I first read this when I think I was in upper elementary school, middle school aged, and I was super excited because I read this, like, big grown-up book. And then I just really loved this pioneer world, and there's this love triangle in here, and the movie is beautiful, and there was also, like, a children's series based off of this. I was totally all about this at that age. Like, I could not forget these guys. Yeah, totally. And it was before I started reading, like, Jane Austen and, like, other classic romances. It was my first kind of introduction to that style of writing, and I just totally fell in love with it. And then lastly, I have Annie's People by Beverly Lewis. It's a trilogy about this Amish community, and the main character, Annie, falls in love with an Englisher who is a not Amish person, and the repercussions of that within her society, because she's, like, the preacher's daughter, and she's supposed to marry an Amish man, but she still has to make her own decisions and her own choices, and I just was really, really into this when I first read it, and I wanted to read anything about the Amish community after it, and just could not forget them. But I read, like, Christian fiction because we are dealing with an Amish community, and their faith is such a big part of who they are. I really love the struggles between these two. Yeah. So there is a ton of books that gave me book hangovers in my attempt to balance old and new stuff. I don't even know how many that was, guys. I think it was like 11 or something. But yeah, let me know in the comments below what were your favorite books that gave you book hangovers, or even your least favorite books that gave you a book hangover. And yeah, have you read any of these books? Did you have similar reactions to them? I know I went through them really fast because I had a lot of books and I didn't want to spoil any of them also. So I will post links to any of these books that I have reviews for already down below if you want to check them out more, and definitely go check out the Goodreads pages. Yeah. So peace out. I love you guys and keep reading. Bye.